Christianity and diabetes are the two things that's been a part of my life for a long time. This film is created to explore the connection between them in my story, and I hope to share that with you. I grew up at a Christian family, and I'm really passionate about my Christian faith. Being a Christian simply means having a relationship with God. It really isn't that complicated. At least it shouldn't be. One story I love in the Bible is when Jesus was on the boat with his disciples crossing the sea. A huge storm hit them. Yet Jesus was sleeping in the midst of the storm. And when the disciples were really afraid and thought they were going to die, they woke Jesus up. Jesus then calmed the sea and asked them why they were afraid. I'd be terrified if I thought the storm was going to flip my boat over. But I like this story because it seems to be suggesting there's a sense of stillness that doesn't depend on circumstance. And I like the idea of being able to have peace in the midst of struggles in life. I've had type 1 diabetes for almost 10 years now. I have to inject myself with insulin 4 times a day, basically before each meal and before I go to bed. Having diabetes means that my body has lost the power to regulate my blood sugar, so it can get super high or dangerously low. I have to carry my insulin, blood sugar meter, and candy with me wherever I go. At times, it can get very frustrating when I try so hard but my blood sugar still fluctuates like crazy, or when I had to go eat candy during a basketball game because my blood sugar was getting low. I also like to travel, but insulin have to be refrigerated when not being used. So it gets annoying when I have to figure out where I can keep them refrigerated when traveling in different parts of the world. Sometimes, I just look at the beautiful sky and ask, why me? Why suffering? Can God just fix things like the way He calmed the sea? Life is still fun and good in so many ways, but sometimes it could also suck, just like about 2 weeks ago. My blood sugar dropped way too low that made me have a seizure then passed out. It was the first time this ever happened to me. I remember waking up, I was still on the ground. The paramedics were helping me, and they asked me if I knew where I was and what date was it. It felt super weird not remembering any of that. I just couldn't figure it out. It took me about an hour for all the memories to come back. At the time, I was still feeling very strengthless and nauseous and confused. It was all kind of chaotic and new to me. But I remember very deeply that as I was laying on the ambulance, I just felt this sense of complete peace and stillness in my heart. My body didn't feel comfortable at all, and I knew the situation was bad. But I felt like I could just trust that Jesus was about to calm the sea. Storms are still gonna happen in life, and sometimes we might be left with a complete disaster. But as I lay down on the grass and look at the beautiful mountains and sky, or the countless stars at night, this overwhelming sense of peace and security rushes over me as I was thinking about Jesus. This peace we can get from God really is different than anything else, because it doesn't make any sense. Just like when Jesus was sleeping on the boat during a storm. Wherever life may lead next, even if I drift off and feel lost and afraid, I know that I can always go back to the God that calls me a friend. I know that Jesus is on the same boat with me.